So I'm talking to this guy and we're going back and forth about his business, and he just stops me in my tracks and he goes, well, can you just tell me one thing? I want to know why I could never reach my goals, so I could never be successful. And I've been trying to do this for the last 12 years. And you know, it's funny because we're out here for the headquarters bowling night, and it really reminds me a lot of what people need to do. And it's called the straight line. I call it straight line to success. In fact, what I think we ought to do is probably head on over to the HQ and let me teach you this stuff on the market board. So like I was saying, you know, we're going to head on to the HQ here and we're going to talk about that straight line to success. I got to tell you, it was a really big kind of paradigm shift for me once I figured this out. And what's really weird, man, is it's unfortunate, but about 98% of people never reach the goals, the happiness, the ambition, the success that they want. And that 2% that do get split up 50-50. One half will actually get there eventually over a long period of time, bruised, battered, scathed, damaged, with only a little bit of time to enjoy their success. That other half, that other 1%, will get there in a really quick fashion. And they'll get there and they'll have plenty of time to enjoy their happiness, their success, the abundance that they've created. And I've been able to figure out why. And that's what I'm going to share with you here, is the straight line to success. And I have a feeling it might be a paradigm shift for you as well. And but I think before we get to the HQ, what we ought to do is take a little detour here and enjoy this fine little ride we have. And then we'll kind of beeline it to the HQ. All right, man, so here we are, and we're going to talk about the straight line to success. Now, like I was telling you at the bowling alley earlier, you know, there's only about 2% of the population that kind of gets to that amazing place of abundance, of success, of happiness, of achieving their ambitions, right? Like I said in the car, 1% struggles to get there and has a very little finite amount of time to enjoy it. The other 1% gets there quickly in a straight line fashion, and they get there and they have plenty of time to enjoy their success and their happiness. And I'm going to explain to you how you can be that 1%er who gets there quickly so that you have more time to enjoy your success and happiness and your goals in life, rather than feeling completely distracted and kind of flying by the seat of your pants and not knowing what you need to do to achieve that freedom and happiness that you want in life. So let me show you something. I'm a real visual person, and I think most people are that way, so I'm going to draw this out for you. So let's say that you are currently here. This is where you are. We're going to fill this in, and this is you. This is you right now, right? Now, what we want to do is get here. This is you, except this is you when you've reached your place of happiness and abundance and success and all your ambitions. And now you're at that place where you can sit back and enjoy, right? So we're going to say that you're going to go, yay, right? This is where you want to be. Now, you and I both know it's common sense. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this one out. Look, you start here, and if you could just stay on that straight line, it is going to be your fastest way to where you want to be. Now, it doesn't matter if you want to open up a restaurant, a personal training gym, if you want to be a public speaker, if you want to be an online marketer. It doesn't matter what it is that you want to do to get here, right? Your outcome is here. This is where you want to be, right? And of course, this is where you are today. Now, listen, we both know, and common sense tells us that there is a faster way to get there. You don't need to set a 10 or 15-year goal to get to where you want to be in life, especially in this day of technology and the internet, when a lot of things are at your fingertips. But let me explain to you what happens. What should take you, let's say, a year, 2 years, 3 years, several months, depending on what it is that you want to achieve to get to your happy place, ends up taking people sometimes never, and at the very best case scenario, 10, 15, 20 years, right? You've heard the phrase, I'm a 15-year or 20-year overnight success. Well, here's what happens. All right, so let's say that you're like a self-help guru, maybe a fitness professional, I don't know, a registered dietitian or something, or you do this thing where you can help people locally, and now you want to get your information and a product online so that you can help people globally, right? Just help a ton more people across the world with the knowledge and expertise that you have. So this is where you are right here, but this is where you want to get to, that happy place where you're making a lot of money, you're helping a lot of people, you're influencing a community, and you really feel good about life, right? This is like your ambitions. Now, realistically, and I know internet marketing and I know how to create online businesses, I've done this over and over again. Listen, to go from here to here should take you probably, truly, anywhere from 6 months to a year to make a good amount of income. We're talking like 6 figures, multiple 6 figures. 6 months to a year. If you stay on the straight line, that's the trick, right? But here's what happens to a lot of people. They start here and they have every great intention to get there. The problem is they go, you know what, I want to write an ebook. And they start writing their ebook and they stop and they go, you know what, maybe I ought to create a video instead. And so I'll change my program, make videos. But then I'll say, you know what though, I'm not really sure if I want to do videos. Maybe I want to make a membership site. On second thought, I'm not even sure if I want to help people on the internet. Maybe I'm going to try multi-level marketing for a little bit. And so before you know it, the idea fairy flies on into your life. And what would take you 6 months to a year is now taking you 7, 8, 9 years of you doing this and possibly, and maybe never, reaching your sweet spot. Because quite often, each time you do this, you kind of tend to fall back a little bit and then you start over again, right? You see what I'm talking about? Think about this. You just want a straight line to success. So how do you get there? And how do you avoid the idea fairies? And how do you avoid all these distractions and roadblocks that get in your way so that you can achieve your thing that you are passionate about, the thing that's your purpose? Well, number one is when you start something, finish it, right? That is the number one lesson that I can ever teach you in life. And I've coached literally thousands of small business owners, fitness professionals, internet marketers, multi-million-dollar companies that make $40 million a year plus. And the number one thing we told them was, when you start something, finish it, right? Even big, giant, multi-million-dollar companies will start all these little projects, and each of them could add another 6 figures or 7 figures to their bottom line. But they always miss their deadline, and they never get to fruition. And the reason for that is the idea fairy keeps coming in and screws things up for them, right? Now, on a personal level, the same thing happens to you. Now, it might not be the idea fairy, it might be your bad, weird association with money. Maybe it's how you feel about success and whether you deserve success in life or not. Maybe it's about your childhood and maybe people told you that you couldn't amount to anything, and so you keep self-sabotaging yourself to fall back, right, on the straight line, never achieving what your true purpose is, never really getting to that place of excellence where you can help more people, make more money, win your freedom, and live in abundance. Listen, I don't know what it is that's stopping you, but what I can tell you is this, that these little things are always going to happen. The idea fairy is going to come, and they're going to get into your head. It's your job to learn a 2-letter word that's very important. You ready for this? No. That's it. No. When you want to change your mind, when you get a better idea, when you want to go a different direction, when you see a new distraction, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, whatever the distraction is, your job is to say no to it and stay on that straight line. Listen, I can tell you this, I am not the sharpest knife in the drawer. I'm not. I barely made it out of high school. I'm the foreign kid that came to America and became the American dream success story. I came from a communist country. I didn't even speak English. I had to learn the language. I went to 3 elementary schools, 2 junior highs, and 2 high schools. I dropped out of college the first semester. I was destined to amount to nothing, but I was good at one thing and one thing only. When I started something, finally, when it came to business, when I started something, I stuck with it. And I stuck with it no matter what. And each time I stuck with it, my learning curve grew faster and faster. I ended up having less of these zigzags and more straight lines. Eventually, my lines went to this, and then to that, and then to a straight line to success, right? And that's what I want to really impress upon you is you've got to learn to say no to the idea fairy, to the distractions that show up, to whatever your bad association is with money, to however you feel about whether you deserve success or not. Listen, I'm going to leave you links and recommendations for books on self-help down in the description box of this video, so that if you think you need help with your mindset, well, I'll tell you the books that you should read. If you need help with some marketing ideas, I'll leave the books that you should read. If you feel you need some ideas on how to better time manage and how to become productive so that you're not wasting a crap load of time doing all this fake busy work where you feel like you're doing stuff but you're really not, I'll leave the books down there. But it's up to you to download those books, to buy those books, to download the audio and listen to them, right? That's the only way you're going to end up on the straight line. All right, so if you have any questions, leave them in the comments section below. I hope this video was able to help you, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.